This is my current 1 gallon batch of cider going. Like I said, it's a 1 gallon batch, and until I get my orchard going, this is a quick and easy way to start making your own cider. This is just organic apple juice I got from Whole Food Market, Sprouts, and comes in its own 1 gallon jug, so you don't need to buy any demijohns or any fermenters. All you had to do, if you can see, it's kind of nasty looking, but that's golden raisins, and that's to give it some tannins and some mouthfeel to it. But it looks nasty, but it's just there to add a little bit of flavor. So what will you need for this? Like I said, until I get my orchard going, I have about 14 trees now that should be bearing fruit in a few years, and everything I got is scalable. So this is 1 gallon, and behind me over there are 3 gallons. So if I wanted to make a triple batch, I'll just get 3 gallons of juice and use those over there. But since this is the first time me trying these raisins, golden raisins in here, I just wanted to do a gallon because it might not be good. But from what I read, this is a good way to add a little bit of mouthfeel to your ciders. But what you need like I said, a gallon glass jug. Like I said, if you buy one like this, there's no need to get one, or you can or this is also what I use, old wine bottles. These are a gallon jug too, and you'll need to get this stopper right here and this airlock and a pack of yeast. Okay, so what you do, you'll open up this. You'll add I just add a handful of raisins, 1 handful of raisins per gallon, and then put the top back on it, shake it up, and then pitch your yeast. In this I use the Red Star Premier Cuvée. 1 packet of this would be good up to 5 gallons batches, but I just went ahead and dumped this whole thing in. And like I said, I just add my yeast straight in to my, I don't start it in warm water or anything. I've tried that once and same results, so why go for the extra step? Then you add your plug, then your airlock filled to the line with water. It'll start fermenting. You'll see it bubbling and frothing, and about week and a half it'll stop. And you can leave it in here. I brew mine for like the beer style. There's beer style and there's wine style. Wine style you tend to let it age longer. This one I'll let it age 6 to 8 weeks, and then I drink. So you got your yeast, you got your apple juice, you got the cork, and this apple juice cannot have any preservatives in it other than citric acid. Anything you see, any ingredients that say metasulfate, bisulfate, potassium sulfate, it will kill your yeast. So it could be juice, citric acid. That's it. So then you got your airlock, and after a week, I usually transfer it into this one to get it off the lays. The lays are when your yeast is done all it's eating, it can't eat anymore, it'll settle to the bottom. You can also, what I like to do sometimes is reuse your lays. I'll siphon this out into this one and pour more juice straight into it, and you'll fire right back up. So I've had 3 or 4 batches go right back to back. So like I said, I'll siphon this off, and what's left over is the lays. And then after another 2 weeks, I'll bottle it. Okay, these are the types of bottles that I use. This is a 750 milliliter bottle. I got it at Aldi. It's was lemonade, pink lemonade. I let my girls drink it. I don't drink too much sugary drinks, but they like lemonade, so I bought them for them. 750 milliliters with a swing top, reusable, recyclable. And if it's a beer style, I'll have these repurposed Grolsch bottles, another swing top. This is a 16-ounce bottle. Now, I like using these when I make more like a sparkling cider. And how you make a sparkling cider, when you fill the bottle with your finished cider, you add, I use probably like a teaspoon of sugar to prime it. It's called your priming sugar. So you'll add it to the bottle, put your cider in, lock it down, and after a week it'll start fermenting again because you added more sugar to it. And it releases that carbon dioxide, but it gets saturated into the cider, making it sparkling. That's my favorite style. So when you finish with your cider, it'll come out pretty dry. So I always add some concentrate to it before I bottle it. I'll add maybe 1 can of concentrate per gallon to back sweeten it. I like it dry, but my wife tends to like the sweeter cider, so happy wife, happy life. So normally I will back sweeten it. And then another week after that, if you let it sit, I always go 8 weeks instead of 6 weeks, because the flavor tends to get better in those extra 2 weeks. So for me, I would week in the primary, a week in the primary, a week in the secondary, then bottle. I'm sorry, scratch that. 2 weeks in the primary, 2 weeks in the secondary, and then 2 to 4 weeks in the bottle. So that's how I like my ciders. And that's Chris with Freedom Farm TV, and that's all there is today.